Yesterday we saw the deployment of the operating system, how to deploy an OS to our clients. We saw the options related to bare metal installation also. We did wipe and reload or refresh pattern, but just 2 3 steps were different for bare metal. And in place upgrades, we need to go to software library, and under OS deployment, we need to put here our upgrade package. So for example, client is having Windows 7 or Windows 8.1 and you want to upgrade to Windows 10. You need to put your upgrade package, upload your upgrade image here, and then you can push in the same manner as we did for the wipe and reload or refresh OS refresh option. Now, how we can enable PXE on our distribution point for bare metal deployment. So I am on administration tab. We'll come to server and site system roles. Here we are able to see all our roles. We will right click on the distribution point and go to properties. So here we have a third tab called PXE. So PXE is our third tab. We will enable PXE support for clients. So it is asking that PXE request will be coming on port number 67, 68, 69 and 4011. And for OS installation, we need to have port numbers, UDP port number 69. So if these ports are not opened on your internal firewall, so we can have internal as well as external firewalls. So internal ports can be blocked on network level also. So these ports should be open in your network for OS deployment, bare metal OS deployment. I'll click yes, and apart from that, require a password when computer uses PXE. So you can put the password also, or you can uncheck this option also. So we will check this option. Now respond to PXE request on all network interfaces, or on specific network interfaces. So for example, if my this virtual machine is having two interfaces, so I can add on which MAC address I need the request for PXE response. So precisely I'm having two interfaces, one is netted interface, one is internal interface. So I need request on internal interface, I don't need on netted interface. So if in production your server can have multiple NIC cards, so you can let's say it has 6 NIC cards, so you can put two NIC cards which can receive PXE requests. Apart from that, you can enable unknown computer support. So you can see this is the option where you can enable unknown computer support. So as whichever machine will not be having an operating system, so that machine is an unknown machine, because neither the OS is installed, neither the client is installed, SCCM client is not installed on that machine. So that machine can't be identified by our SCCM server, so it is unknown to our SCCM server. So hence we need to enable support for unknown computers also. And we can enable a PXE responder without WDS. So precisely we don't have we don't have WDS. You can integrate WDS with your SCCM server. So request will come to WDS and then it will be interacted with your SCCM server. So you can check this box. Apart from that, allow the distribution point to respond to incoming PXE request. So instead of WDS, your distribution point will respond to incoming PXE request. So these are the options which you can cater when you want to deploy a bare metal operating system. At present, I'll uncheck these options. Talking about multicast, so you can enable multicast also. So by default it is disabled. You can see if you enable, you can define the UDP port range for multicast, maximum number of the clients scheduled when multicast goes on. Apart from that, computer account or database account which you want to bind with your multicast request, so you can define it from here. So I'll at present cancel. So in this manner you can enable PXE on the distribution point. So what I'll do, I'll here again upload my image. So I don't have any image, I didn't download it on the local machine, so I'll download it. Let me check which image I have. So I am having 1904, so there is 2005 image only. which is an older. I don't have 21H1. Okay, so no worries. I'll come back here. Right, so this is how you can enable. Now, if I come to software library back and we talked about Windows 10 servicing. Just a second, I'll close the window. Right, so yesterday we talked about Windows 10 servicing. So now here we can have service plans and we can have all Windows 10 updates here. Your Windows 10 updates will be available here. So as I convert the upgrade option, so if I go to sites and I go to software update point, configure site component, software update point, here in classification updates, sorry, upgrade should be enabled. Here it is not completely scanned because I installed software update point yesterday evening only, so it is not showing here. The last option upgrade should be enabled, so then only it will pull your Windows 10 updates. So at present I'll cancel it and I'll come back to software library Windows 10 servicing. So you can create a servicing plan and you can synchronize the updates also for Windows 10. So let's say if I create a servicing plan, I can give a name. So let's say I'll give Windows Windows 10 21 S1 upgrade. So I need to define the target collection. So let's say I'll define my Windows 10 target collection. Next, now semi-annual channel or which is targeted, that is SACT. If we have remember yesterday we saw the slides, right? So if I come to the yesterday's slides, so yeah, you can see here we saw yesterday semi-annual channel, targeted and semi-annual channel, and we have long-term servicing channel. So we can select any of the thing. Let's say I'll say semi-annual channel. How many days after Microsoft has published a new upgrade would you like to wait before deploying in your environment? So I'll say 0 days. You can define 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, 90 days, etc. Next, so what is the architecture? So you can define the architecture. Let's say I want architecture. So architecture should be 64-bit only, for example. Then required, yes, it should be greater than or equal to 1. So any updates which are greater than or equal to 1. Then superseded, I don't need any superseded updates, yes, no. Then product category, I can define a product category which updates I need. So for example Windows 10. Then language, which language I need, so I can define the language also. Let's say I'll need English language, right? Then title, so title can be anything, so you can define it. I'll uncheck it at present and you can preview it what you have selected, right? So at present there are no, because we haven't downloaded it anything because my upgrade option is not selected. So when you preview, once this criteria is defined and you preview, So whatever downloads will be available here, updates will be available here, it will show which are applicable to your these servicing channels. Then time based, so what is the schedule of evaluation? You can define the client local time UTC, software available time as soon as possible, installation deadline, so it immediate, or you can specify 7 days. By default it is 7 days. Then user experience, so you want all notifications, hide all notifications, or display only computer restart notifications. You can suppress the restart on servers, etc. This is the same option which we have seen during the deployment of the updates. And create a new deployment packet, so we'll create a new deployment packet. So let's say Windows 10 21 H1 upgrade package. Now it is asking package source path where it is downloaded. So let's say I'll take a dummy path and I'll give it. So I'll go to Spain DC applications, and I don't have path here, but let's say I'll select this folder. Right, sending priority and no deployment package, or you want to create it, so we are creating it. Okay, so I'll create. Next, and we'll add the distribution point where the content will be distributed. Next, we can download software updates from the internet. Next, and language is whatever we have selected. Next, and this is the summary what we have selected. And next, so it is working, it will validate and done. So now we have created a servicing plan. So once it is downloaded, we can run it. This is how you can create a servicing plan. Talking about ADR, so at automatic deployment tools. So at present, maybe I don't have any software updates here. What I'll do, I'll once close the console and open it again. So my console is up. I'll go to software library, and under software updates I'll go to automatic deployment rules. So here I don't have any updates, so synchronization may be running in the background. I'll come to ADR, so we can deploy ADR. So let's say create automatic deployment rule. I'll say patch Tuesday updates for testing. I have given the name Patch Tuesday updates for testing, so I can deploy to testing collections. So here I need to define a collection. So let's say I'll go to browse and I'll define a collection. So let's say I'm defining all IT machines. No, let's say Windows 10 machines. At present I have only one machine, so I'll define this. Add an existing software update group or create a new software group. So we will prefer to create a new software group update group every month, because if it is adding to an existing software group, what will happen, all the things will be clubbed in the same group. Then enable the deployment after the rule is run, so deployment will be enabled automatically. Next, so use wake on LAN to wake up clients for required deployment. So you can enable this option. So what is this, we'll be studying in some time today in client settings. So detailed level, so whatever messages you need, only error messages, success and error messages, or all messages. Apart from that, automatically deploy software updates found by this rule and approve any license agreements, or automatically deploy only software updates found by those rules that do not include a license agreement, or for which the license agreement has already been approved. So we should select the second option. Next, then Again, the same criteria information is coming, what criteria you need. So we can add architecture, we can add language, then we can say product, then we can severity, required, superseded, update classification, etc. Vendor, so for example, if I go to vendor, so you can see we have local publisher and Microsoft, so I can say Microsoft only. Update classification, I can say only critical updates, security updates, and definition updates, or let's say I can say updates also. I can say superseded no, severity critical, then required yes, greater than or equal to 1, then product, so we can say whatever product we require. So let's say I'll say I need Windows 10, right? I'll select OK. So I need Windows 10. If I need multiple products, I can select a multiple product also. So for example, I'll say I need related to Windows Server 2012. At present, the categories haven't been synced, so it is not showing. Right, so you can select. So let's say I'll say I need related to 8.1 also, or maybe Windows 10 features on demand. I need Windows 10 features on demand. So I can select this also, or creators and later servicing drivers. Right, so I'm saying features and demand and Windows 10. Then language, I am defining English, and architecture, I am defining 64-bit. The next, now occurs every 1 hours effective to 1970. So I don't want to occur every 1 hour. I want to run the to on a specific schedule, run the rule on a specific schedule. So I'll customize it, and here we have custom interval or monthly. So in monthly we'll select the second Tuesday. You can see second Tuesday, but we don't want on second Tuesday, because second Tuesday, on second Tuesday updates will be released. So we can say on second Wednesday of every month, second Wednesday of every month, or you can say last Tuesday of every month, right? So we can say second Wednesday of every month, and okay. So it will run on every second Wednesday of the month. Next, so again this is the same screen. I'll just skip it, and I'll skip this user experience screen. Now generate an alert when this rule fails, and generate an error alert when the following conditions are met. So 90% machines get compliant and offset from the deadline 7 days. So you can it is optional, you can check, uncheck. You can disable operations manager alerts when software updates run. So operations manager, as we have seen on the first day, it is part of system center family, and it is used for monitoring purpose. So it is a completely a different tool. You need to deploy operations manager, you need to have a license, you need to deploy on another machine, and you can monitor your SCCM related stuff. So you can generate operation manager alerts when a software update installation fails, or you can disable alerts. Next, so select a deployment package. So it is asking you need to select a deployment package. So this is our deployment package. No, sorry, this is not our deployment package. Yeah, so here we need to have a deployment package. So I'll cancel this, and we can create simply a deployment package. So I'll say ADR for patch Tuesday, for Tuesday for testing, and I'll provide the source. So I'll provide the source again in my Spain DC shared path applications, and I'll create a new folder. So ADR patch Tuesday, and I'll select folder. I'll move next. We'll add the distribution point. Now it is asking download from software updates from the internet or download from a specific location on the network. So if you have already downloaded and kept it, so you can download it from give this location, and if you haven't downloaded from the catalog point, then you can ask to go to internet and download it. Then this is the language what we have selected. Download settings, do not install software updates. if it is neighbor boundary group, and download and install software update from a description point in site default boundary group. Next, so this is a summary what we have selected, and we'll move next. And the ADR has been created. So it will automatically, what it will do, it will automatically go to the Microsoft update point every Wednesday, second Wednesday, download the updates, validate which are required and not required. It will distribute it, then it will deploy deploy it on your targeted collection, whatever targeted collection you have defined. Now yesterday, so at present what I'll do, I'll import my one operating system here. So I'll right click and go to settings and provide my CD DVD drive. So I'll go to browse and I'll provide my Windows 10 DVD drive. So let me open it. So it is not inserted. Right, so I'm having my Windows 10 DVD drive. So what I'll do, I'll open it. I'll go to sources and we need install.vim. Right, so this is my install.vim. I'll close this and I'll import the operating system. I'll maximize it. Operating system images. So I'll right click and add operating system image. Browse. So it is my D drive, sources, and install.vim. Okay, it is asking a network path. So I'll put the operating system here, Win10 205 OS, and I'll copy from my DVD the install file over there. Let me check the space on my hard drive. Okay, it will work. So my image has been uploaded. So now I'll again give the path of the network. So applications Windows 10 2005 OS. It is precisely 64-bit. I'll select my language. So my language is English and US. I'll give English US. Next. So this is the name. I'll give Windows 10 x64. Build is 19041 and version is 2005. Next. Next. And OS has been added. Now what we'll do, we'll deploy this content. So I'll distribute the content. We'll distribute the content. Next, I'll select my distribution point. Next. Next, we have already seen yesterday, but I want to show one more options. That's why I'm doing this exercise. Meanwhile, this my option gets so this my image gets distributed. Please go through the labs.
Yes, sir.
So I distributed the image. So first we imported the image in the operating system section. Let me go to full
Actually,
screen.
sir, I want.
Sorry, Vaishnav, your voice is not audible.
Sir, am I audible?
Your voice is breaking now. It is coming.
Yeah, sir. Sir, I'm saying that I can't see anything. So your screen is not visible to me.
So you have since morning internet connection issue. I am conveying the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that's why. Yeah. Okay, sir.
So we have imported our Windows 10 image, which is build 19041 and version 2005, and I have distributed the same image, install image, and I have also distributed my both boot images. Now yesterday we created a task sequence, so I'll create the task sequence again. So let's say I'll create the task sequence. So install an existing image package. So wipe and reload. I'll select the boot image. So it is x64-bit. Next, image package. So I'll browse, or if you have multiple image packages, you can select accordingly. I have only one, so I'm selecting the same. So image index, I'm having only one index. So then partition and format the target computer. Yes, I want to do that. Configure task sequence for use with BitLogger. I don't want to use with BitLogger. I don't have product key also, and I don't want a random generation of admin password. So I'll give an admin password, India@123. Next. So I don't want to keep it in workgroup. I'll join it to a domain. So I'll browse my domain name sp.com and I'll specify the target OU. So that is clients and account. So I'll give an existing account, which is my system admin SCCMA account, and I'll give the password. I'll verify it. Test the connection. Yes, connection is successful. Next. So this is my client package which will be installed. I don't want to go with state migration. I don't want to include any updates. I'll provide applications which should be installed. So I'll select Google Chrome and I'll select 7-zip. I have selected two applications and I'll select if an app fails installation, continue installing other apps. And this is the summary what we have selected. We'll move next. And we'll click close. So a task sequence is created. Now I want to distribute this. I want to deploy this task sequence. So I'll right click and I'll say deploy. I'll select my collections. I'll say Windows 10. Okay. And I'll don't do anything here. We'll go next. So I'll make it available only to configuration manager clients. So you can select accordingly depending upon your bare metal and upgradation. So in bare metal and upgradation, you should go with the second option. So at present, I'm going with the first option only, default option. I don't want to schedule it, but yes, why it is not showing? There are no items. Okay. So assignment schedule, it is asking I'll go with as soon as possible, but here I'll say available only. So that's why it is disabled assignment schedule. User experience, I'll go with the default options. Alerts, I'll go with default options. Distribution points, so download content locally when needed. Next, and this is a summary. Let it appear. Yes, it has appeared. Next, and my deployment is completed on my Windows 10 collection. So I'll be revalidated on which collections I have deployed. I'll click close and I'll go to deployments tab, and I have, let it appear, yes, I have deployed on my all Windows 10 machines. Now let's say I want to edit this task sequence. I have created a task sequence. I want to edit it. So first you should be on the summary tab. You can select the task sequence, and here we have an edit button in the ribbon bar. You click edit, and you can edit the task sequence. If you want to remove any steps, let's say I want to remove install application, so I can just click on remove. I can add a task sequence also. Let's say I want to add drivers, apply driver package, right? So here in the driver package, I can give a package which is there. At present there is no package related to driver, so I'm just showing an example. So you can deploy a driver package also. You can put this somewhere here also before applying the network settings, right? So the step has been moved above, right? So in this manner you can edit your task sequence also. I'll cancel it. So yesterday Raju or Shiva or Bhargav, I don't know, I don't remember. They
Sir,
had
I
query.
Shiva.
Yeah, so you had query related to how to edit it. Right. Apart from that, let's say if I modify my information related to operating system, let's say I'll go to properties of this package, this OS image. I'll go to properties, and I'll go to distribution set. No, content location, not content location. Yeah, data source. Let's say I'm modifying the data source. So once I modify the data source, then how I can redistribute this again? I need to redistribute again. So I can right click and update distribution points, or I can go to properties. Once I have changed the source path, I can go to properties. So on the content locations tab, I am having my distribution point. I can redistribute it. I can redistribute it. Then it will be redistributed again to my distribution point.